Scanner to take pictures of the mummy without having to unwrap it. What they're trying to do is learn a little bit more about Egyptian burial customs, about mummification, and about this particular individual herself. She is a 19-year-old, was anyway, believed to be the daughter of a priest who lived around the year 600 BC. They don't know the cause of death or anything about her lifestyle. They do have an earlier X-ray that shows her positioning inside the coffin. But what they're doing now is, without having to unwrap her, they're taking pictures in hopes of generating more knowledge about how she lived, how she died, and more about the customs and lifestyle of 6th century BC Egypt. And we should have some more information about her within the next 2 hours. From the Children's Museum, this is Paul Casey, WIBC News.
Paul, thank you very much. But before you get away, one question I've wanted to ask. How in the world did they know that she was 19?
I don't know. We do know that the hieroglyphics on the top of the casket did indicate that she was a priest's daughter, and I expect that, and it also has her name, Winyu Hotep, so I expect it probably had her age also.
Okay, thank you very much, Paul. A LaPorte County man is Indiana's 10th official weekend traffic fatality. LaPorte County deputy sheriffs say 22-year-old William Eaton of Union Mills was killed last evening when his car went off a county road, sheared off a utility pole, hit a stump, and flipped over on its side. That raised the weekend toll to 10, the yearly count to 790, compared with 1,012 on this date last year. And this was to have been a fatality-free weekend on Indiana streets and roads. More than 200,000 pounds of cheese will be distributed for the aged and poor of Marion County and surrounding counties tomorrow. It's all part of the federal government's surplus of cheese, and it's going to older people and those who are poor and or unemployed. The cheese in 5-pound blocks will be given out at several locations in Marion County, in Hamilton and Hendricks counties, and at the National Guard Armory in Lebanon for Boone County residents. Leaders of the Roman Catholic Church in Poland plan a religious retreat later this week, while underground leaders of Solidarity are expected to stage anti-martial law protests. The scheduling appears to rule out a meeting between church and government leaders aimed at averting trouble. A killing schedule is beginning to take its toll.
Pope John Paul II is on the final stretch of his 10-day trip around Spain, where huge crowds have greeted him in the dozen cities he has already visited. But the frenetic pace is taking its toll on the pontiff's health. Today, after fog prevented his helicopter from landing at a mountain shrine near Barcelona, the Pope insisted nevertheless on being driven there, running over 2 hours behind schedule. At the shrine of Montserrat, where he prayed to a black virgin, the Pope had heavy pouches under his eyes, and his look was glassy and listless. He sported a bump over his left eye, probably after hitting his head in the helicopter. Dennis Redmond, Barcelona, Spain.
Soviet President Brezhnev says his nation is ready to crush any potential aggressor. That statement was made today in Moscow during ceremonies marking the 65th anniversary of the Bolshevik Revolution. A huge parade was the feature of the day. The Israeli military command says a clash today in the occupied Gaza Strip left 1 Arab dead and 4 wounded. It says an unidentified attacker threw a grenade into an Israeli army vehicle in Gaza City. And there's a report out of Iraq that Iran has crossed the border and attacked an Iraqi outpost once again. That has not yet been confirmed, however. Egypt's foreign minister is quoted in a Kuwait newspaper today as saying Palestine Liberation Organization chief Yasser Arafat may pay a call on Cairo. The PLO severed ties with Egypt 3 years ago. Things aren't going too well these days between two well-known longtime allies.
According to a Gallup poll commissioned by a London newspaper, the British people feel the United States and Britain are drifting further apart. And less than a quarter of them think Ronald Reagan is a good president. The Sunday Telegraph has compared this new poll with a similar one taken last June. The results show an increase in the number of people who feel the two countries are growing apart, that America is less capable of dealing wisely with world problems, and that Ronald Reagan isn't a good president. The poll was taken after the Soviet pipeline dispute had cooled to a simmer, but before the U.S. had dismayed the British by casting a UN vote in favor of fresh talks on the sovereignty of the Falkland Islands. Jerry Matsumoto, London.
United Auto Workers Union President Douglas Fraser says he's giving up his seat on the Chrysler Board of Directors until contract disputes between the automaker and its U.S. and Canadian employees are settled. And grocery shoppers in California might find slim pickings on store shelves if 27,000 meat cutters and teamsters go on strike tomorrow. A vote on whether there will be a walkout is expected today.
A few years ago, a company had the idea that people wanted something more in a condominium, something that offered a magnificently designed community of fine homes built to environmentally blend with the surrounding landscape. They wanted something different, with neighborhood settings, dwellings that set themselves apart from the rest of the condominium world. Community living with all the amenities like tennis, jogging trails, golf, fireplaces, swimming pools, affordable financing including 30-year mortgages at below market rates. That company is Deluxe Communities. And today, that dream is here for you. Deluxe Communities, owners, developers, and builders of Eagle Valley, North Point Bay, The Lofts, and soon-to-be Meadow Lake. Price from $39,950. Deluxe Communities builds warmth into your home. We've got your home. All that's missing is you. Look in the real estate section of Sunday Star for more information on Deluxe Communities.
WIBC weather just ahead of the final hour of the first day. Mostly sunny, breezy, and unseasonably warm today. Fair and not so cold tonight. Mostly sunny and warmer tomorrow. The high today 61, the low tonight 40, and the high tomorrow 65. Barometric pressure is falling slowly from 30.25 inches. Winds are from the south at 14 miles an hour. Relative humidity is 41%. And under mostly sunny skies, it's 52 degrees at the airport and 52 at WIBC, where you'll hear the Elton John story this afternoon at 2:30.
You'll still find big bargains and better furniture during these final days of Emmerich's anniversary sale. Shop today through Tuesday at either of the two Emmerich's locations. Emmerich's Factory Building Furniture Store, 324 West Morris, or Emmerich's Kensington House Drexel Heritage, 86th and Keystone. You'll find on sale over $2 million worth of better quality sofas, chairs, bedroom, dining room, and occasional furniture, sofa sleepers, mattresses, and lamps. And you get immediate free statewide delivery plus an extra discount for cash. At Emmerich's, you must be satisfied, or within 10 days after delivery, you can exchange the furniture or return it for a full cash refund. Right now, during our fabulous anniversary sale, is an excellent time to discover a better way to shop for better furniture. Emmerich's Factory Building Furniture Store at 324 West Morris Street, or Emmerich's Kensington House Drexel Heritage on 86th Street, 1 block west of Keystone. Shop our anniversary sale this afternoon, or Monday and Tuesday, 10 to 9.
It's 11:09 WIBC with the final hour of the first day, and boy, it's warming up out there, guys. It's all the way up to 52 right now in the city. Very, very nice day. 52 degrees and sunny skies in Indianapolis. We could touch about 61 today and possibly all the way up to 65 tomorrow, which certainly would be nice. Now, coming up, we're going to give you an opportunity to win $1,000 WIBC in our electronic money vault. And, of course, also you'll have an opportunity to win this afternoon with Reb Porter at 12:10 and 2:10. At 9 minutes after the hour of 11 o'clock, are you ready? And right now at 239-1070, I will take caller number 6. Caller number 6. Okay, on the air with me right now, I have Marilyn Henry of Indianapolis, actually of Sunny Speedway, right, Marilyn?
Right.
Okay, now to win that money, what I need is a combination of 5 numbers, and of course the direction to dial, and on the lock we have numbers 0 to 29. So Marilyn, if you will give me the first number and the first direction in our WIBC electronic vault combination, okay?
Okay, 7 left.
All right, 7 left.
Correct. Continue.
Ain't that cute? Now, Marilyn, let's see what we've got for the second one, all right?
Okay, let's try 20 right.
20 right. Oh, Marilyn, I can tell you 20 right, the number was just quite not high enough.
Not high enough.
Not high enough, okay?
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Ann. Bye-bye. Now, we're going to do that very same contest, the one we just did now, only we'll do it with somebody different, obviously, at a different time. And if you're keeping track of those numbers, you'll know about where we're going and where we're not going. Okay, another opportunity to win $1,000 will be coming up at WIBC at 12:10 this afternoon with Reb Porter and also at 2:10 with Reb Porter. Jeff?
Got a ton of stuff going around town today, Orly. You've got your quilt show today, 1 p.m. to 5 p.m. at the Calvary United Methodist Church. Of course, the Christmas gift and hobby show. That's today, noon to 6. Monday through Wednesday, 5 p.m. to 10 p.m. Then Thursday through Saturday, noon to 10 p.m. And next Sunday, noon to 6 p.m. There is an admission charge. $3 for adults, children 6 to 12, 50 cents. And under 6, get in free. The Chrysanthemum Show, Saturday through November 28th, 10 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. Garfield Park Conservatory, 2450 Shelby Street. Free admission, and plants will be sold there. Also, the Past to Present Show today, 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. Ag Building, State Fairgrounds, admission 50 cents. The Photo Flea Market, today, 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. Signature in North at 3910 Payne Branch Road. What else do we have going on? The doll events at the Children's Museum. The Children's Museum benefit, seminar for doll collectors. And reservations are going to be required, and that'll be next Friday. The number to call, 924-5431, and ask for extension number 52.
Some of the things that are going on today around Indianapolis, we'll probably update that and check the rest of them sometime between now and 12 o'clock noon. And for whatever your plans might be for today, the weather looks like it's going to be pretty cooperative all the way around. Sunny, breezy, unseasonably warm, and not so cool tonight. Sunny and warm tomorrow, about 61 this afternoon. And after the last 3 days we have, it's going to be great. 40 tonight and near 65 degrees for tomorrow afternoon. Indianapolis 52 right now, and sunny skies in the capital city. And with the sunny weather that we're having right now, of course, snow is around the corner in the first blow of the coming winter. WIBC wants to make someone's bad weather of winter 82-83 easier to take. We'll award you a brand new Toro S200 snow thrower. If you can tell us the exact day, date, and time, the National Weather Service in Indianapolis will measure the first inch of snow on the ground in a 24-hour period. And the Toro S200 features a high-torque engine, closed rotor system to throw up to 600 pounds of snow a minute with its 20-inch clearing swath. Now, if you'd like to win, send us your prediction of the exact day, the date, and the time. The National Weather Service will measure the first snowfall of 1 inch on the ground with your name, your address, your home and work phone number. To Snow, WIBC, 9292 North Meridian Street. Our new zip here at WIBC is 46260. 1 entry per person. And then, of course, you wait for that first inch of white snow to fall. From your official weather station, 1070 WIBC. Now, from your official sports desk this morning, wearing his sports coat, here's Paul White. Paul?
Thank you, Orly. Let's take a look at the NBA from yesterday. Our Indiana Pacers beaten by the Washington Bullets, 119 and 115. That's the only victory we've got so far this year. When we opened at home against the Washington Bullets with a 3-point victory, the Pacers now 1-3 on the young season. Atlanta over Detroit, 95-93. Philadelphia tops Boston 119-115 in double overtime on a shot by the doctor with 38 seconds left in the second extra frame. Chicago over San Diego, 129-124. Reggie Theus with 30 leading the way. Phoenix, Dennis Johnson went for 22. They topped Dallas 112-100. Los Angeles 104. Utah 101 after trailing at halftime. The Lakers were. Denver 127. Golden State 118. And Portland knocked off the Knicks 110-102. That means the Knicks are now 0-5. They've got a new coach, a whole bunch of new faces there, and they still haven't won a game. Philadelphia leads the way in the Atlantic Conference with a 5-0 record. Milwaukee is 4-1 in our Central Division. Out west, San Antonio has a 4-1 record in the Midwest Division, and Seattle is perfect, 5-0 in the Pacific. This afternoon's game has Seattle at Milwaukee. Should be an excellent contest. Night games feature Boston at New Jersey, Phoenix at San Antonio, and Portland against the Lakers later on tonight. In the National Hockey League, the Islanders lost 6-3 to the Philadelphia Flyers last night. That's their second home loss this year. Prior to these two home losses, they hadn't lost one since December of 1981 at home. So the Islanders fall for the second time at home. They're still in first place, 11-4-1 so far this season. Buffalo topped Hartford 5-2. Hartford, a miserable club. They're 3-8 on the season. New Jersey and Detroit, a 1-1 tie. Quebec over Minnesota, led by Marion Stastny this time. 4-1 the final there. The Rangers and Calgary tied at 2 apiece. St. Louis and Toronto tied at 3 apiece. Montreal over Vancouver 4-2. And the LA Kings, led by Marcel Dion, top Pittsburgh 6-2. Today's games: Vancouver at Buffalo, Detroit at Boston, New York at Philadelphia, Hartford at Washington, and that's the Islanders. Islanders at Philadelphia, Toronto at Chicago, and Calgary at Winnipeg. Elsewhere in auto racing, Alain Prost used the pole position a good advantage in winning the Australian Grand Prix down in Melbourne earlier today. He guided his Formula One racer to the early lead, pulled away for a 15-second victory over Jacques Laffite. Doesn't that sound like a pirate? Third place went to defending champ Roberto Marino of Brazil. New Zealand's Dave McMillan came in fourth. Yesterday, the Kart 150 out in Phoenix went to Tom Sneva. He won a mid-race duel with Rick Mears for his second IndyCar victory of the year. The Spokane, Washington native drove his March Cosworth to a speed of nearly 111 miles an hour. Mario Andretti was third. Coming up later today, Morgan Shepherd takes his Buick to the pole position for Atlanta's 500 National Grand Prix race. However, much of the attention is going to be focused on Darrell Waltrip. He wants to increase his point lead atop NASCAR's driver standings. Bobby Allison in second place, and Bobby Allison has never won it, and he's not been as close as he's been this year. So it's quite a battle between Morgan Shepherd and between Darrell Waltrip and Bobby Allison for the championship this year. Kyle Shedd of Indianapolis is in first place with 2,700 pins up in Syracuse, New York at the $95,000 Syracuse Open event of the PBA Tour. My brother and I went bowling last night. He's currently winging his way to New York right now, and he claimed he couldn't bowl. He rolled a 145 and never once threw one into another alley. So don't tell me you can't bowl anymore, Danny. And a final note in sports this segment. Zebra Girl to fight men is what it says right here. Shirley the Zebra Girl Tucker of Santa Rosa, California, will be able to climb into the ring with a 120-pound boxer and go 10 rounds with men under a reluctant ruling by the California Athletic Commission. We had no recourse but to approve it, said Don Fraser, the commissioner. Their 5-member board out there decided Friday to approve women versus men professional boxing matches effective immediately upon threat of suit from the American Civil Liberties Union out there. Shirley is in the 120-pound class, and he says he doesn't know any men, the Commissioner Fraser says he doesn't know any men who are willing to fight women in the ring.
Well, it'll be awfully embarrassing to have your lights punched out by Zebra Girl.
By Zebra Girl, yes.
It'd be kind of tough to live
with. Do they wrestle like shirts and skins?
It's 20 after the hour here on WIBC's First Day.
There are even further...
Make sure you visit the White Castle at East Washington and Post, Michigan Road near 71st. 22 minutes after 11 o'clock. How they do that? WIBC, and in the door walked our friend Bob Lamey.
Speak for yourself.
How you doing, Robert?
Tired. How you doing?
When'd you get back?
Half hour ago.
Half hour ago, huh? Drove back, huh?
Yeah.
Where were
Cutting
you?
down this season?
Well, what happens to you when you lose 3 in a row in the NBA? You have to take a canoe back.
Take the train, right?
We drove, took a train and a
Bus.
canoe. Fun. Yes.
How's
Interesting
the trip?
game. Well, win-wise, it wasn't worth the flip, but I thought the guys played awful hard. Flip, that's F-L-I-P.
Close, no cigar.
Yeah, it's all right. You had the big one, Orly. We were playing hard, just not quite well enough. Talking to Jack after the game last night, and we both agreed maybe we ought to come out and play a lousy game and win. Instead of playing well and losing. The Bullets, they're a pretty good team, and so is Boston. And
Greavy back last night?
No, he won't be back for a while. He's got an abdominal muscle pull, and he is having some problems walking even. And Spencer Haywood, they may lose him to some surgery with some calcium deposits on his, of all places, his calf.
Wow.
But
is he a farmer?
I know what the guys who are on, yes, I know what the guys on strike in the NFL are doing now.
What's that?
They're masquerading as Washington Bullets.
Is that right?
Yes. That's the
Big
biggest
boys,
team
huh?
I've seen in a long time. Jeff Rulin, he just, well, all I know is when he comes in the game, the floor tilts, so you know you got problems. And we just didn't play as well as the Bullets last night. They came back. I give them a lot of credit.
What's coming up next?
Sleep.
I see.
Play San Diego on Tuesday and then go back on the road to Detroit and Philadelphia.
It's fun.
Somewhere there's an easy team in this league, but I'm
Now,
not exactly sure where.
San Diego's got a new horse in town.
Yeah, Terry Cummings, and he played well, started for him. He's got 19 in 2 straight games. Walton didn't play yesterday, and nobody seems to know whether he'll be here Tuesday or not. He's playing 1 game a week.
Yeah, well, he's
And,
getting old.
He also has a broken cheekbone.
Broken cheekbone, that'll do it. Billy
1 game a month.
Knight, 26 points again. BK's filling him up.
I'll tell you, the guy I was really happy for. If you saw the opening game, Clark Kellogg went 2 for 17 against the Bullets. And there were some people and some writing in the Washington Press that maybe he wasn't going to be able to play. Well, he hit him for 25 and 12 rebounds last night and did an excellent job and came back. Herb Williams, 22 points. Played well. We just didn't get over the hump.
Yeah, okay, Bob.
Sounds
Thank
like
you.
Purdue, huh?
Go take a nap now.
Say what?
25 after 11 o'clock in the morning at WIBC. And the first day in the fall, you can plant trees, shrubs, and bulbs, but trees live for many years. It's very wise to know the trees that you plant. Here's Dick Crum for WIBC First Day.
The tree.
Oh, yes. 26 after 11 o'clock at WIBC as we continue with some of our Sunday morning first day features. The economy may have stalled, but the model train business chugging along. Barbara Lerner reports now for WIBC and the first day. WIBC, 28 minutes past 11 o'clock with the first day of this beautiful, sunny, just a perfect day so far outside. 52 degrees, sunny, and I'm looking forward to 12 o'clock getting out and enjoying some of that sunshine.
Well, I've got an old saying here that my granny used to tell me, and probably yours too, Paul, yours too. And
all the
Mark's,
time, yeah.
The family that wangs together hangs together. Can the computer save the American family? Well, at least one member of Congress thinks so. Now check this guy's name. Newt Gingrich. A Georgia Republican has introduced a bill that would offer tax credits for the purchase of home computers. Newt says he's an outspoken member of the New Right.
I could see that.
And he says computers will keep families together by allowing parents, especially mothers, to work at home. Newt's doing this for conservative reasons, says one aide to Newt. He favors the family and family values. That could be the next thing, computers in the home. If they find one that can change a diaper, I'll pop for that.
Yeah.
But other than that, I don't think I'd want one of those
That's
things.
the family that wangs together.
Family that wangs together hangs together. It's an old saying that has been handed down many a year.
We had that. We say it a lot around our place in Leonard, North Dakota.
Did you really? Yes.
Your family are to wangs together.
Leonard, North Dakota.
It's Leonard, North Dakota. The Simile Creek runs right through Leonard.
Didn't he drive at the track once?
I'm not sure. I think you might be right. We'll be back here with a little more of this. I still have my frogs in space story, but I don't know. I mean, if I can...
Well, I hope we have time for that.
Frogs in space.
That's right. I'm going to try to hold that off probably till the last few minutes. It's the kind of thing that you want to sort of build up to that, and the light bulb jokes. We may bring those back again.
Or you could just throw it away.
There's a good possibility I might do that.
The Texas Chainsaw Frog Massacre will be coming up later.
1080 and Break the Bank, a call coming up this afternoon. Paul White, Jeff Pigeon, I'm Orly Knutson, and it's now 11:30, and it's Bill Donnella News Time.
Radio.
It's Litton Factory rebate days at these dealers. Stop by Beacom's Appliance over in Shelbyville, Kinner Broyles there in Marion, and Model Home Stores up in Anderson. 23 minutes now before 12 o'clock noon. WIBC, first day, the final half hour. Reb Porter will be along this afternoon at 12:10, and he'll be doing the WIBC.
Here he comes now, yeah.
Johnny Yuma, I know. What's the line? Johnny Yuma's grandson, right?
He is Johnny Yuma's grandson. He doesn't like to talk about it, but he is.
He'll be here with the WIBC Electronic Money Vault, a chance at $1,000. So make sure that you are listening for that here at WIBC. Okay, time now for You Are What You Eat. Here's Dr. Myron Winnick on nutrition for WIBC and the first day.
When the American...
18
pretty good.
18 minutes before 12 o'clock.
Just talking about bellows.
That's right. It's on the fireplace and stuff. WIBC, 52 degrees and sunny in Indianapolis. Jeff Pigeon, Paul White, and Orly Knutson.
Mark the Horn Edwards. Right.
Last time we'll be together on the first day
Could be.
show. And you got a couple of things there before we get to the
a couple of quick
sports.
things here. A couple things happening. John Steinbeck's moving drama of Mice and Men will be given today at 2:30 and 7:30. You can call 923-1516 for more information. Very moving drama.
Where are the rapids, George?
That's right. As Lenny was in there, wasn't he?
Yes, Lenny and George.
The Sound of Music continues at Beef and Board's Dinner Theater today, with dinner at 6:30, the show at 8. For reservations, phone 872-9664, and also the open house at Brebeuf today from noon to 4 p.m. for 7th and 8th grade students and their parents. You might want to check that out. And when planning that family vacation, don't forget to put Ronesboro, Texas on the itinerary for a stop the whole family will
Leonard,
enjoy.
North Dakota, right?
Yeah, it's a visit to the nation's only possum museum.
I heard about that.
The Marsupial Museum is located in the west wing of the local grocery store. Between the popsicles and flea collars, founder Jack Baird says possums have a large place in the hearts of the East Texans, as well as their stomachs, because I guess they eat them down there, too.
Yeah.
And last time I saw a possum was the other night. It was on the side of the road. I think it had to run in with a bus.
Right.
Looked like a little pancake with a face on it.
Was it a museum piece quality there, do you think?
I should have picked that up, scooped it up, and sent it down there to Texas.
To Texas, yeah.
Possum Frisbee action.
Sure.
Yeah.
I could have found some use for that.
Well, I've been going to use this story all morning long, and I think probably would be the time now. This is Frogs in Space. Outer space will be hopping if George Nace has his way. Nace is an amphibian specialist at the University of Michigan. He's landed a NASA contract to breed frogs in space. And it's not all that easy, he says. Without gravity, normal mating is impossible. So Nace is sending some pre-fertilized female astrofrogs into orbit on board a space shuttle.
Be a good name for our NFL team.
By monitoring the development of the egg into a tadpole. He hopes to learn how gravity affects metabolism, and then, of course, that data in turn will be used in designing the next generation of spacecraft.
What if that thing landed on another planet or something? And
those
some
frogs come
space
hopping
guys,
out?
Yeah, I saw USA on the thing, and the frogs come out. They probably take a pass on Earth next time.
You wonder how anybody becomes an amphibian specialist and how they come up with something like that. I'm sure that he probably gets a pretty healthy sum of money to be monitoring, looking in on those poor little froggies out in space.
Be a new book, The Right Stuff, though, if they add a chapter to it. On the frogs going to space, yeah.
Temperature of 52 and sunny in Indianapolis. It's 15 minutes before 12, and our final go-round with sports this morning in Paul White.
Well, the Big Ten is really shaping up. Thank you, Orly. The Big Ten is shaping up. Michigan is undefeated with a 7-0 record in conference. Ohio State at 5-1, which means that Michigan has played one more conference game. Now, the Purdue Boilermakers journey up to Ann Arbor next week to take on those Wolverines. And if Michigan wins next week, it doesn't matter what they do against Ohio State and Columbus in the last game of the year. So Michigan with obviously a lot at stake against Purdue. Ohio State needs some help. The Illini were beaten yesterday by Michigan, putting a real damper on their hopes of taking the Big Ten title. Michigan beat them 6-10. The Illini are now 5-3 in conference. Iowa is now 4-2 in conference, and it looks like a Michigan-Ohio State show, but Michigan, as we say, is definitely going to need some help. Purdue, of course, beat Iowa yesterday 16-7. Ohio State over Minnesota 35-10. Michigan, as we told you, held off Illinois. Illinois was plagued by mistakes in the second half. They really had an excellent chance to win that ball game, but the final, once again, 16-10. Indiana got a 42-yard field goal from Doug Smith with just 4 seconds left on the clock, and they came away 20-17 winners against Wisconsin. And Indiana hosts Illinois next week down in Bloomington, and that should be a real air war. Babe Laufenberg and Tony Eason. Elsewhere, Notre Dame. It's going to be an incredible 2 weeks for them. They beat the number one team in the country yesterday in Pittsburgh, the final 31-16. Bob Lamey was telling us some of the riders that he flew back with via Pittsburgh from Washington were saying that Notre Dame just looked awesome yesterday.
Coach Jerry was smiling, too, there.
I'll bet he was. He hasn't had too many laughers this year, and he's had a couple of games he'd just as soon forget, and going into Pittsburgh and stomping the Panthers on their own turf. Well, Notre Dame is a heck of a football team. They'll have a chance to prove it again next week against Joe Paterno's Nittany Lions. And all the Nittany Lions did yesterday was beat North Carolina State 54-0. So you're looking for some showdown up in South Bend next week. Elsewhere around the state, Butler topped St. Joe's 31-16 behind a fine performance from Andy Howard. DePaul over Oberlin 41-12. Evansville, you got it, sir, 33-31 over Ashland. Northwestern, we should mention, by the way, got their third victory of the year. They are now 3-7 on the season. That doesn't sound so good, but if you're Northwestern, it's a big deal. They beat Michigan State 28-24. We had Rose-Hulman topping Southwestern of Tennessee 18-16. Wabash over Illinois Wesleyan 37-34, setting up a pretty interesting Monon Bell clash with DePaul next week. Franklin over Indiana Central. Bill Bless, just soon forget about Saturday's game, 54-6, the final there yesterday. In the top 20, there were a couple of major upsets. Number 1, Pitt, a loser to Notre Dame. It was number 5, Arkansas, losing to Baylor, 24-17. Number 8, Alabama and the Bear loses to LSU, 20-10. UCLA, ranked number 9, lost to Pac-10 rival Washington, 10-7 the final there. And that's it for the upsets. Of course, Florida was number 20, and they lost to Georgia. Florida really not that good. Georgia behind Herschel Walker, clobbering Florida 44-0, the final there. Well, the high school football semi-state pairings are all set. Here's how it worked out yesterday in Class AAA. District 3, of course, Carmel 21, Chittard 13. Martinsville falls in District 4 to Castle, the final 24-21. That means Carmel will be at Castle in next Friday night's game. In District 1 and District 2, it was Hobart 27, Highland 0. Fort Wayne Snyder stops Lafayette Jeff for the second straight year. Jeff was rated number 1 in AAA. The final there, 27-14. Hobart will play at Fort Wayne Snyder next Friday. In Class AA, Peru over Norwell 23-6. McCutcheon over Twin Lakes 16-13. Franklin Central on a march towards another state title. They topped Avon 30-15, and Jasper over Providence 24-7. Jasper will face Franklin Central at the Flash's home field, and McCutcheon will go against Peru at Peru. In Class A, LaVille over Carroll 23-21. Oak Hill in overtime over Woodland 12-6. Hagerstown stopped Frankton 34-14. Hagerstown something of a surprise. They took out Hamilton Southeastern last week, and Frankton had been unbeaten this season. And Southridge topped North Decatur 40-8. The final, Oak Hill at LaVille and Southridge at Hagerstown, as we're starting to come down to the nitty-gritty in the high school playoffs. Well, speaking of the high schools, Cathedral, Tom O'Brien's Irish, has one of the best basketball teams around anywhere. Kevin Calabro previews their program for the first day.
The Cathedral. It's 6 minutes before 12 o'clock, WIBC, and we've had our friend Paul Casey down in the by the Children's Museum, or at the Children's Museum today, and they're doing some interesting work with a mummy down there. And Paul, what's the update on that story? Okay, Paul, what's the update? And that's we have to do what? I see, in the two-way.
Oh, there it is.
There you go. Okay, Paul, what's going on?
First of all, I'm going to put down all the equipment I brought that didn't work. There you go. All right. They are currently still inside the Methodist Hospital portable CAT scan van, and Win-U Hotep's in there with them. I found out how they figured out she was 19, Orly.
How's that? We were kind of wondering about that.
Okay, they did an X-ray back in 1967. In fact, almost, let's see, how many years ago would that be? 15 years ago this month, November 17th, at Winona Hospital. In fact, it was a project, took a whole day to do, and the pathologist who conducted the X-ray determined that she was probably in her late teens. So 19 is kind of an arbitrary number that they figure pretty well described it. They also know she's about, they figured about 5'8" and 125 pounds, kind of skinny. But they did not find any major illnesses. They thought she may have had perhaps a vitamin D deficiency at that time. They also determined that probably didn't have her lungs or other viscera, and her brain was partly removed. But that's the way they did things back then. They put them in jars along with the mummy itself. They have been at it now for almost an hour. We understand that within probably another half hour they'll be coming back out and giving us their initial indications. The CAT scan can tell them a lot more than the X-ray did, because it can look at things other than just the bony surfaces. They're trying to, at this point, determine things like whether or not her teeth were worn down by whatever diet that they had back then.
Yeah.
And also, they want to get a better look at perhaps how old she was, and how much she weighed. They did find a few abnormalities in the original X-ray, and they want to check those out with regard to the bone condition. They can also look at soft tissue abnormalities, such as tumors and things of that nature. So they'll be looking at all those things, or they are right now. And hopefully, probably on the news this afternoon, we'll have a little bit better indication as to exactly what they've done today.
Okay, Paul, I appreciate it very much.
All righty.
Thank you very much. It's about 3 minutes before 12 o'clock, and we got one more of these to go here before the news, and there's a national treasure hunt coming up. Does that sound good? Mike Kriegel reports for WIBC and the first day.
Byron.
A minute before 12 at WIBC, and kind of wrapping things up for today.
Yeah, like I've been saying, it is a beautiful day. If you're not going to be washing your car or something, there's plenty of things happening in town. I guess the Christmas gift and hobby show is a real biggie for this afternoon. You can get in the spirit of Christmas a little earlier, and that's today from noon to 6 p.m., of course, at the fairgrounds, and that runs through through
Next weekend.
Saturday, I
Yeah.
believe. Yeah, and Sunday too. Next
Yeah.
Sunday too. So
Fair,
check that
there's
out.
an antique show over there at the fairgrounds. That's
Yeah.
just a couple of things at the fairgrounds you'll find going on.
Got the quilt show. Got
Yeah.
the chrysanthemum show today at the Garfield Park Conservatory.
Paul White's going to wash his car.
You
Flint
betcha.
flea market. Yeah.
Wash and vax.
Yeah, that'll be kind of nice. It'll probably get an unexpected rain shower about 4.
No doubt. You
Now,
can
it looks
count
like
on
it's going to be a pretty nice weekend, the rest of the weekend, the rest of today. It looks like for the next couple of days, as a matter of fact, we're talking about 61 this afternoon. We're on their way right now to that. And 40 tonight, which is a lot better than 20 that we had yesterday morning. And 65 tomorrow, and pretty much sunny and warm for the next couple of days. So I guess everybody's going to be pretty happy about that. Sunny and 52 degrees. Paul White, Jeff Pigeon, Mark Edwards, I'm Orly Knutson. We thank y'all for a fine, fine Sunday morning. Break the Bank with Reb coming up afternoon, 10:80. It's 12 o'clock noon, and it's Bill Donnella News Time.